Hi guys, welcome to my channel Faye Dusk. For those of you who don't know what channel this is or what video you're watching, today I'm going to be doing another makeup tutorial. Yay! Excited! This time it's going to be slightly different. I'm going to be doing it in 3 steps because I wanted to basically cover a full look, but do it in 3 different videos. So say for example if you only wanted to watch the first one where I'm applying my base, then you can just watch that and you haven't got like a half-an-hour video where you've got the whole look you've got to watch. Or if you just wanted me to watch me doing eyeshadow, then you can just watch that one, sort of thing. But yeah, so I thought it'd be good to do it that way because I wanted to tongue-tied now. I wanted to cover, so basically the 3, I don't know why I get so tongue-tied. So basically the 3 videos, the first one is going to be me applying my base and my foundation for what I do for getting my base sorted. And then my second video is going to be eyebrows, what I use on my eyebrows, and then the last one will be the rest of the look, so it'll be the eyes and the lips. Yes, so I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. Right, so for the first video, I'm doing my base, my foundation, what I do. So I am going to be using, don't know why you can see that, Avon Face Perfector, which is a face primer basically. So using that first, and then I'm going to be using the dark pink colour supplement. I use foundation from Lush, and then I'm going to be using that. So let's get started. I'm going to zoom you in, so I apologise if I look really close. That will do for now. Right, and before you do this step, it's always really, really important to make sure that you've moisturised. I've used, today I used a Vaseline moisturiser, their new Spray and Go one. It's like a spray-on moisturiser, it's really cool. You can get it from Boots and supermarkets and stuff. So basically, I've moisturised first, and I always leave it sort of 5 minutes just to let the moisturiser sink in. And then you just basically just apply this, smooth this all over your face. And what using a primer does first, I mean I learnt, I ended up doing this trick sort of by accident really a few years ago before face primer started getting a really big thing. So by using this, you're creating a smooth, even base for your foundation. So you just put this all over. I even put a bit like on my lips as well. I mean, it could take a bit of time to do, but once you get the hang of it, and how much you need and how quickly put it on, it's actually really quick and easy to do. But like I've said in other videos, and like you can tell, I don't wear foundation very much. But when I do, I definitely use this first. Just makes your skin feel nice and smooth, and it doesn't dry your skin out either. Like sometimes, make sure you close your eyes as well and do it. Sometimes foundation, what I find, because I've naturally got quite dry skin, I sometimes find, make sure you go gently under your eyes, that foundation dries my skin out. But with this, using this first, it sort of creates a barrier, adds like that extra layer of protection. So you just got to make sure that it's all rubbed in properly. And as you can see, my face is all yeah, it's all rubbed in. Yeah. It's sort of got like, it's not greasy at all, but it does sort of feel greasy on your fingers. But it is really good, and it's probably about £9 for an Avon. Lasts ages, so I'd definitely recommend it. Next, I'm going with my Lush foundation, and I personally use my fingers, but well, for this foundation I do, because it's literally just it's like a liquidy sort of, and it's in a pot. So if it wasn't in a pot and it was in a tube, then I'd use a brush. But it's a bit hard trying to I don't really want to keep dipping a brush into the pot. It's not very hygienic. And I find that with this particular foundation, it works better if you just use your fingers and blend it in. As a lot of makeup artists will tell you, there's nothing wrong with using your fingers. I know that sometimes we all sort of get this idea in our heads that if we're makeup artists we have to use brushes, or we need the latest brushes to apply a foundation, but a lot of times you can get just as good a look using your finger, or fingers, or hands. Should I just say hands? Let's just say hands, yes. It still feels really weird putting makeup on like this. Really weird. It's going to take me ages before I get used to doing makeup like this. I just find it really odd, I don't know. It's because I'm not used to it. But all the beauty gurus make it look so easy. All the ones on YouTube that just... Oh yeah, it's important to make sure you close your eyes and do on your eye as well. I'm going to be using a primer, eye primer, to put my eyeshadow on in my next video, but... Or my last video, sorry. But if you don't have an eye primer, then this can act as a primer to keep your eyeshadow on nice and long. But yeah, beauty gurus make this look so easy. Like my friend Mandy with Sparkle Bomb Makeup that does makeup tutorials. She always makes it look so simple, doing makeup in front of a mirror. In front of a mirror? No, in front of a camera. It's important to make sure you've got it blended right up to the hairline, and also sort of down, just down to the neck. My face is looking very white, isn't it? I'll sort that out in a second. See, I find, personally, right, let this set 1 second. I find it really hard to find foundations, I think I've said this before, that suit my skin tone. And so I usually find they're sometimes either slightly too light or they're too dark. And in this light, this one actually is a good match for me. If I go back a bit, probably see it a little bit less better, but in this light it does sort of look like it's a bit too light for me. But I promise I don't look like a ghost. But yeah, so now, this is like an optional step, this is just what I do, but I also, next, on top of my foundation, I mean I showed you before in videos that I've done, that I always use a bronzer on top of my foundation personally, just to sort of, if it looks a bit too light, to add a bit of darkness to it and a bit of shimmer. I love shimmery bronzer. I know a lot of makeup artists don't like it, but I love it. And this one's been in all of my videos that I've done makeup, like in my handbag and when I've done stuff for Mandy. And this is the Solar Powder, Soap and Glory bronzer. I think it's about £10. And as you can see, it's nearly all gone. I need some more makeup. Well, I don't need more makeup. As you've seen, I've got drawers of it. I need some more bronzer though. Gonna get some soon. So I'm just using my Kabuki brush that I love. Just swirling it into the colour, and then I always tap the excess off. And for my bronzer, I know some people use their bronzer just to sort of highlight and accentuate like their cheekbones, or like the bridge of their nose, or their temple or forehead, but I personally, when I use bronzer, do it all over, just to get a nice shimmer, just so it looks lovely. I don't use too much, but all over work good for me. That's bronzer done, and then I'm going to be using blusher, and this blusher is a Bourjois one, and it's called 16 Rose Coup. And I like these bourgeois ones. I like the eyeshadows as well. And you have a little, I never use the brush with them, but you get a little brush and you get a little mirror, which is cool. Just put that down. So using my same kabuki brush. You should use a separate brush. Well, I don't really tend to when I'm putting my. So you just smile like that, so you get the apples of your cheeks, and if you do a swirling motion, you sort of swirl up to your hairline. And you're going again, and it's also always very important to make sure you tap off the excess. The swirling motion up to your hairline. And that just gets the apple of your cheeks and the top of your cheekbone. This gives you a nice accentuated look. You can see it's just like a rosy colour. And that is me all done for the first video. It's hard for you to see. I feel like you haven't got the proper effect. Let me zoom in a second. Ah, so fiddly. So look, it's all me all done. All done for the first video. So stay tuned, and my next video is coming up in a second. Lots of love and an extra big heap of fairy dust. Mwah.